Welcome everyone to our Object-Oriented ABAP playlist on YouTube with me, Amrit. So in the previous session, we saw the implementation and difference between static and instance attribute. Now in this part, we'll see the local classes versus global classes. And we will also see the implementation part of it. So local classes versus global classes. This will be basically my 5th episode of object-oriented programming. So let's start with the introduction of global class. Global class. What is a global? The word global, something which is available or accessible globally, right? So global class is a class which is available and accessible globally and can be used anywhere in any program. That is why it is global in nature, right? Why it is global in nature? The reason here is global classes are stored centrally. Basically, they are stored centrally in the class pools. They are stored centrally in the class pools, in the class library, and can be used anywhere. That is why they are global classes. They are available in class pools and stored centrally. Then we can create our own global class from the SE24 transaction code, SE24, which is also known as class builder. SE24 transaction code, also known as class builder. Whenever we create any global class or any user defined or custom global class, the name of the class must start with Z or Y. This is mandatory. This is a standard naming convention given by SAP, and we are just following it to create, right? So I will simply go to my SAP system and I'll log into my SAP system. I will go to SE24. I will create one class here. This is class builder, and I will pass here the class name. So Z first global class. Okay, global class 01. I will go for create. I will pass here class, one short description, global class. Let's let it be a usual ABAP class. Then I will go for save. I will assign my package and I will pass the transport request. So lots of features are there. At this moment I will just create one attribute, so one global variable here, and let's say I will name it global variable Amrit. Its a level, I will make it static. Yes. Then I will pass its visibility as public. I will give here the associated type as integer. So I am passing a elementary data type here, integer I. So its description, okay, let's pass one description here. Global variable to store integer, and I will pass one initial value as 10. Okay, let's activate it. It is ready. Now I will simply go to a ABAP program and I will call it. Let's see that. So global GC versus local class. Global class versus local class. Pass the type here as executable, and I will pass the package in transport request. Package and transport request. Perfect. Then what I will do here, I will call it, so class name and its attribute, right? Let's try that. Yeah, it is there. I will use the write statement to print it, so write, and I will print it. Activate it. And let's execute. See its value, we are getting it 10. So we are able to call this global class. See here, if I will try to execute it, this is my, it is also I am able to get the result directly from here. But if I will try to call it from any other program also, it will give me the same result. Let's say if I am creating one of its object, so data lo underscore obj is equal to new keyword is equal to class name. So I'll copy the class name, and using the object I will call the variable now. So lo underscore obj, and let's print it. So activate, and execute, right? So I'll execute it, and see we are getting the same results. So this is a global class available globally. Now what is my local class? Let's see its feature also. So local classes, local class, local class. Local classes are classes which are defined within the scope of a ABAP program or function module. Local classes can only be used within the same ABAP program, where they are defined. They can only be used within the same ABAP program where they are defined. So they are defined within the scope of a ABAP program or function module, and they can only be used within that same ABAP program where they have been defined. So unlike local classes cannot be called from the outside. Their features we cannot access from outside of the program. Local class consists of ABAP source code enclosed in the ABAP statements, which is class and end class. So within class and end class we are going to write our logic and define everything for my local classes, but my global class provides interface where we can implement everything. Then the name of the local class can start with any character. This is a feature of my local class. Its name can start with any character. There is no foundation for that. So here if I'll try to create one local classes, so class local, let's say Amrit, definition, class definition will be there, and in the class, so between class and end class we are going to write every logic here. Now in between I will have a public section, and I will declare one local variable. So let's say data, a normal instance attribute I am declaring, so I will name it local variable Amrit, type integer, and I will pass its value as 10. Okay, then in start of selection I will call create its object, so data keyword, hello underscore object is equal to new keyword, and my class name, and I will print its value, so write hello underscore obj and my LV Amrit. Okay, let's activate it and execute it. See, we are getting the result, right? We are getting the result. So this is the clear difference here. Global classes versus local classes. Global classes are available globally anywhere in the program, but local class is limited only within the scope of the ABAP program. So this is all about this video. Thank you very much for watching. We will continue from next part.